LTC is a premier healthcare firm that's really revolutionized the long-term care industry by providing a centralized, off-site business office that assumes complete responsibility for billing, collections, and finance. The full suite of services includes accounts receivable, revenue collection, accounts payable, cash management, due diligence, financial advisory services, contracting, credentialing, and managed care services, and HR functions and payroll needs. We have close to 1,000 employees and a tremendous emphasis on proprietary software and technology. LTC provides cutting-edge services and can distinguish themselves in maximizing efficiencies and optimizing performance. It's really my absolute pleasure to introduce our featured guest today, Michael Bauman, the CEO and co-founder of LTC.
We've really seen our employees step up to the plate and go above and beyond. The key thing that really helped us get through it was the fact that we've invested a tremendous amount in automation. We've invested a lot in our proprietary softwares. So we've had these things that were able to hold us all together throughout COVID-19, and with our employees working remotely. We were dealing with a lot of other companies, insurance companies, Medicaid offices that were not, that weren't capable of really handling working in remote settings, which created very challenging. So the key for us was we invested. We realized this, and during COVID we put extra emphasis on putting more focus on our own internal softwares to help us really get through this in the most efficient way. You know, we've seen a lot of deals, a lot of transactions going on in the last few years, and the industry has gotten smarter, understanding exactly the geographic areas that the care providers have to be in. So there was a concept of even if you're spread out, there could still be some sort of efficiencies within your organization to provide the level of care, and you could do it in a cheaper fashion. But I think because of this, the people are going to realize that if our geographic is too spread out, or it's not strategic on any level of being in a certain area for whatever reason, whatever your organization, the strengths of the organization, which will allow you to give the best care in those areas. What we're going to see as a result of this is more defined regions of where the providers are going to be doing these acquisitions, and it's going to force the weaker people in those areas, whether it's someone that owns one home or it's an organization that owns multiple homes. But you will see that they will be forced to make those decisions of where is the smartest place for my organization to be, and what is the most strategic markets to be in. I think it's going to change, and I think it'll change for the better. I think just like my organization, we realize the benefit of automation and remote and setting up ability to work remotely. The facilities have realized that themselves, and over the last few years, there's been a much bigger emphasis, whether it's on providing higher levels of care and more. And in the facilities itself, whether it's with telemedicine, different remote monitoring systems that they're able to monitor the patients remotely. So the facilities have become smarter at it over the last 5 years, and they're only putting more emphasis on it, and they're only going to get better at it. I think as well that the facilities have learned because there's risk taking the patient in, and they have to deal with infections and whatever it is that could cause total havoc in the facilities. I think the regarding placement the facilities will know better which patients are most appropriate for them. The families and the patient themselves will know the most appropriate settings, and I think it will people will be smarter at knowing when they belong in a facility, and the hospitals will be sending the right patients to the facilities, which will give the facilities the ability to really give them that high level of care that they really need. I think there's a few aspects to that. Why the long-term care industry is more prepared to deal with it. I think from a physical standpoint and from sort of a mental standpoint, they've realized how to treat such an aggressive virus. They realize how to care for these patients in a long-term care setting where there's so many patients within one building. So they're prepared from that perspective, how to deal with the patients, how to control the infectious disease from spreading. They know what they can and can't do within coming into proximity with a patient. So from that perspective, I think they are 100% more prepared to deal with the patients physically and care for them. I think from a mental perspective, which is also tremendous, they are also more confident at this point that the federal government, I mean, look at the stimulus that was given to the long-term care facilities. You wonder where you stand at many times, for sure, in the long-term care industry, where there's home health care, there's assisted living, there's other caregivers, and all of them are needed, and each one is needed in their own individual way. But the fact that the industry, the federal government has shown that they're supporting the industry, and the industry needs this money, they realize that they're an intrinsic part of the caregiving, of the complete circle of care that's required, and they're standing behind them. I think the key lesson is loyalty, employee morale, and knowing who your key players are in your organization. I think it's so important to build a stronger team, and those are the people that are going to really carry you through the trying times when you're struggling. So I think it's important to invest in your employees, to identify the people in your organization that are really going above and beyond and contributing on the highest level, and realizing the role that they're playing in your organization. So team effort and loyalty is the key to fighting a disaster of this magnitude.